Today I put some baseboard in, just touched up paint, caulked. I put our latch on for our pocket door, and that's it. Just paint your pocket door frame as you paint the house. We didn't know we were supposed to paint it, so we taped it off. But it's a lot easier if you can just go with the spray gun and paint it. That means the texture of the paint's all the same, and it saves you a lot of time instead of having to brush it on. Today we're going to need a brad nailer, a paintbrush, caulking gun, and our impact driver. Right now we're just filling in all of our nail holes, and we're caulking around all the baseboard we didn't get to yesterday. When you get to this pocket door, you don't have to take this frame off because you're going to end up painting it. That's something we didn't know, so now we have to go back and dex and caulk all the nail holes, but it's not too big of a deal. I got Hector over here spackling like a boss. You just press it in the hole and then wipe it off. These are from the factory when they built the frame, but if we're gonna paint it, you might as well cover them. He said to leave the lid on because it dries out really quick, and once it dries out, it's worthless. So that's something that we want to try to avoid.
So getting the sink prepped. I cut the drain back a little bit so I can get my my pipe cutter in here. We're going to cut these back so we can get our angle stops set on there. Yeah, got still a little bit of pressure.
The reason that I'm painting the whole door trim is because that trim that I got wasn't painted before I installed it. So I'm just covering it all just so it all looks the same. Because you don't want trim that's painted and trim that's not painted. It looks really bad. So that's all I'm doing. With having the door right there, everything in front of the door is really important because that's what you see. Well, today was just minor touch-ups, touch-up paint, finishing baseboard, but the house is finished. The only thing we're missing is the mirror, but that gets put in on install. This is basically the finished product. 99% of everything's installed. The one thing that's not installed is our mini split, but we don't have those. That's just quick mounted on a bracket. So our pocket door's in. Locks. Got our slider, our smoke detector. Baseboard's all painted and caulked. We have our closet doors. They're rolling fine. Nothing's catching. Shelf, clothes rod.
Cool. And how do you feel about this accomplishment?
Definitely build your confidence a little bit, just knowing that everything here was done by me and one other person. It's crazy to think that 6 months ago I came here and I knew absolutely nothing, and I was basically able to me and Jasper were able to figure out this house, looking at blueprints, talking to Dan and Corey a little bit, but for the most part, we walked ourselves through it, and I think that's pretty amazing just being here 5 months until that point. If they want to do anything related to real estate or construction, I do recommend it. I also recommend it for people looking to get better social skills and looking for more confidence in themselves. If they're self-conscious, this really helps with that. You work with such a wide variety of people that you learn to appreciate each and every one that you work with, even if you don't agree with them, even if you don't get along. At the end of the day, both of you guys are working and both of you guys develop respect for one another, and that's something huge.
So what I'm looking for is all the finish details. So what I see is that they've got their finger pulls on their sliding bypass doors. They've got their track down here to keep the door in line while it opens and closes. They got their shelf and rod in, and their shelf and rod bracket that holds the rod up. They've got all their trim up here on their hiding their track. That looks very nice. They did a really nice clean job on that. They worked on their pocket door. Looks like they've got their latch put in. Their pocket door latch. And that swings over and then it'll lock into the strike plate on the door. They've got everything puttied in. They've got a little touch up to do here and there, but everything's looking really good. They've got their countertop in. It looks like they still got to put their knobs on their bathroom sink. And they've got their floor they got to put in and then hook up their final plumbing. Their P-trap, angle stops, and supply lines all have to be hooked up. And then they've got their toilets set in place. They don't have their supply lines hooked up and angle stops on there. And then they're got their tile all done. They got one more wipe to do on their grout to clean the tile, and then they've got their trim to set on all of their shower head and their diverter valve handles. Otherwise, it looks really clean. They've just got a little bit more work to do in here, and this thing will be ready to go on final clean. I like the finished product. Everything looks nice. Got a few just small things to take care of, and they'll be out of here.